person as opposed to an immigrant of some sort or another, but we have jobs that Americans simply won't do. And the impact of the so-called low-skilled workers is not as great as people think. We need some of them. But as Lonnie said, and I agree with actually, having a more sensible policy, skills-based, the idea that people have had, for example, of stapling a green card to a college diploma. People come here now, get a college degree, and then we send them back because they don't meet one of our immigration criteria.
Why not, if somebody has an advanced degree, wants to stay here? We don't allow them to stay. It makes no sense.
It's crazy.
And that new lawsuit putting a spotlight on a debunked Fox News story about the murder of a DNC staffer named Seth Rich. The suit was filed by a contributor for the network named Rod Wheeler. He claims a Fox News employee fabricated quotes attributed to him. Wheeler also accuses Fox News of working with the White House to concoct the story.
Fox News has yet to discipline anyone, as far as we know, 2 months after pulling the fake news story. All of this leaving employees confused and angry. Let's discuss the new reporting with CNN host of Reliable Sources, Brian Stelter, and NPR media correspondent David Folkenflik, who broke the news about the suit now facing Fox. Great to see both of you. David, you broke the news. What is the reporting from inside Fox of what's being done? I mean, look, there are rules of journalism. It's good for a refresher course. When something's wrong, you retract it, you apologize, you acknowledge it, you often fire people. What has Fox done?
Fox has done apparently very little of any of that. They, after the story imploded on them in such a public way, Rod Wheeler, the private investigator at the heart of this, in whose mouth quotes appear very strong to have been planted and fabricated by the reporter Malia Zimmerman for Fox News who worked on this. He went to the president of Fox News for News, a guy named Jay Wallace, very recently appointed to that role, and to the chief lawyer for Fox, Diane Brandy, who's been there through all the storms and lawsuits of the past year, as well as many years previously. And he made his complaint. He said, look, words were put in my mouth. Things were attributed to me in the story, and then when this thing went out, things were attributed to me again, explaining to the Rich family, the survivors of this young man who was killed, who was at the heart of this story, and blamed me for the story. They retracted the story, Fox News, but they blamed him once more for doing it, even though it appears from all the evidence that he provides in this lawsuit that they acknowledged that these quotes were manufactured. They listened to what he had to say. According to Jay Wallace, they also talked to Malia Zimmerman, the reporter, and they say that as of now, so many weeks later, they don't have any concrete evidence that the quotes were fabricated. Reporting takes time to do at times. It doesn't take 2 months. It doesn't take 10 weeks. It doesn't take that kind of time to figure out what went wrong. There was also an anonymous source that was cited by Fox News in this. If I'm Fox News, I'd say to Malia Zimmerman, tell me who your anonymous source was. They're absolutely legally entitled to know that. But if they actually had a source within the FBI who vouched for the information, the idea that there was a link between this young killed man and WikiLeaks, the idea that there was a cover-up, somebody inside the FBI vouching for that, tell me who that source is. Maybe we can support this story, even as we acknowledge that these quotes weren't right. We haven't heard that at all. We don't know anything about that source. Right now, I think Fox has a lot to do to keep faith with the story, to keep faith with the truth, to keep faith with their own journalists internally, and to keep faith with for people like the Rich family who are grieving. They told me this week that the story that Fox did on May the 16th was as grievous a blow as the day that their son was killed.
And they put out a statement after the lawsuit saying they hope that this ends it. They don't want their son attached to any conspiracy theories. The man, Ed Butowski, the donor at the center of this situation, promised us information that would validate his side of the story. He has offered nothing since that interview.
Why haven't anyone been disciplined at Fox?
I think it's one of those sweep it under the proverbial rug situations. This retraction happened toward the end of May. This story went away for a while until this lawsuit came up. I think Fox maybe thought they could just maybe act like it never happened. But this was a big story on Fox, and it came at a pivotal time for the president. The president had just fired James Comey. He had just shared top secret information with the Russians in the Oval Office. Robert Mueller was about to be appointed special counsel. The president needed a good news story amid all those horrible news stories, and this was a good news story for him. I hate to even say that because the death of a DNC staffer and a conspiracy theory about it shouldn't be a good news story for anybody. This is a pro-Trump conspiracy.
But you need to say it because of other allegations in this lawsuit, which exactly it wasn't just about what Fox wanted to concoct with this donor, who's also a Fox News user, but the Spicer meeting that actually happened, and yet another meeting with a White House official where they didn't know what it was about, but they had it anyway, and it quickly changed to a different topic and only lasted 10 minutes. We don't know if you heard that before. And the allegation that the president may have known about this article and advocated for its progress.
Right. I mean, you have lawsuits all the time, and allegations are made in lawsuits. And people say, well, that's one side of the story, and we should recognize that about this here. This lawsuit contains an extraordinary level of real-time documentation of what people are saying behind the scenes. So you have pressure from this Fox News commentator, unpaid, Ed Minkowski, who you interviewed the other night, invoking the White House's authority to say the White House is interested, the White House is aware of this, we got to get on this. This is made more credible by the fact that, yes, he engineered this meeting on April 20th with the investigator and Sean Spicer at the White House to brief him on this. Spicer tells us, Spicer tells you guys, that wasn't a meeting that I called, it was something I did out of courtesy, and at the same time, it occurred. It's a fantastic, surprising thing. When he invokes the White House, Captain says, get this on the air, right after Jim Comey has been fired by the President of the United States. When he says the President has read a draft of the story in any other White House, whether Democrat or Republican, you would say that seems like an incredible stretch. With the interest that Donald Trump takes in television and news, conspiracy theories,
She's a good kitty, huh, TigerLilly?
When you see the
Now, you need to learn how to vacuum this floor.